guys, welcome to Let's Go Now. Let's Go Now. In this episode, we're going to we'll be sharing you guys about what are my favorite podcasts that I listen to almost every single day to just, motivate myself to keep going for what I want to do and just to learn English. So basically, I have to say that I have been listening to podcasts for almost 10 years. I started listening to some podcasts since I was very young, 10 years ago, which that time podcasts, weren't that popular as nowadays. So if you want to practice your English, you have to listen to English podcast. Yeah, and this also can apply to other languages as well. So let's see. So as you can see this channel, I'm going to go through one by one podcast that I love listening. So let's see the first one. The first one, as you can see right here, I'm going to start from the bottom, which the first one, as you can see, is called Stuff You Should Know. So Stuff You Should Know is a podcast that they would tell you, every single thing. This one is kind of all mixed up for the things that you want to know and you should know, just like the title of the podcast. So here, I think I just listened to them, just flowing, listening to them while I was driving to work, and maybe just when I don't have anything to do, I would just listen to them, and I get, I get to know more about the world, as you can see it here. First of all, we're going to go with just how buffets work. So stuff like that. So let's go and listen to that for a quick time. Does it work?
When you're looking for a new house, you're not thinking, is my mortgage going to work for me? And to be honest, you probably didn't even know that was an option until you work with Rocket Mortgage. With Rocket Mortgage, you can see your loan options, closing costs, tax estimates, and more online in real time to get the full picture before anything is finalized. You can plan with certainty knowing you have a mortgage solution that works for you. Visit rocketmortgage.com/stuff because when you need a mortgage that fits your life, Rocket can. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
If you've got pets, you know they're experts at the unpredictable. A Trupanion policy helps protect you from unforeseen financial costs with a medical insurance policy for your pet that pays for new and unexpected injury.
Okay, so that was an example of how this podcast works. So actually, that's just, try to tell you guys about the things that you probably don't know and the things that you might already know, but I just extend to for more information in case that you want to know. So there are a lot of topics here that you can start listening to this. I think that it's been more than 2 years, I guess. Since I remember, maybe not too long ago, I think not less than 5 years, I started following this channel and listening to the podcast that they, provide some content that's really interesting. So I would like to advise this to any one of you who just start learning English. You don't have to understand all of the things that they say in this podcast. You just have to listen and get the rhythm that how they say, how they explain, and how they use the words in English. So yeah, basically that's how it is. Alright, so I'm going to speak a little bit Thai before we move to the next one, because I think most of the people here who listen to my video or who are watching my videos are Thai. So อันแรกนะคะก็จะเป็น podcast เมื่อกี้ที่เรามาพูดกันก็คือจะเป็นแนะนำ podcast ที่ควรจะฟังในการฝึกภาษาอังกฤษนั่นเองอันแรกเหมือนที่พูดไปนะคะก็คือรายการที่มีชื่อว่า Stuff You Should Know ก็คือสิ่งต่างๆที่คุณควรรู้เนาะรายการนี้ก็จะเขาก็จะเอาเหมือนเรื่องสิ่งแปลกๆของโลกหรือบางทีอาจจะเป็นสิ่งที่เหมือนเป็นแบบ normal หรือสิ่งที่เกิดขึ้นในชีวิตประจำวันอยู่แล้วก็เอามาพูดให้ฟังอันนี้เขาก็จะคุยกันซึ่ง1 podcast เนี่ยก็ยาวประมาณ1 ชั่วโมง 1-2 ชั่วโมงประมาณชั่วโมงกว่าๆหรือบางทีก็ครึ่งชั่วโมงก็แล้วแต่เอพิโซดของเขาที่เขาดูอันนี้ก็จะเป็น podcast ที่แนะนำให้ฟังอันที่สองที่ชอบดูนะคะก็คืออันนี้ก็คือชื่อว่า Impact Theory นะคนที่เขาพูดเนี่ยเขาชื่อว่า Tom Bill. So the second one I would like to recommend guys is called the Impact Theory. So the host is called Tom Beale. Like he is really like a great motivator. Like if you guys want to, achieve something in your life, you should try to listen to his podcast and also his YouTube channel on YouTube. Like I'm a big fan of him. Like I think like I have watched almost all of the episodes on the videos like on YouTube and also here. So these are the examples. So mostly he will just interview, successful people and ask them how they, function and get through all the work. And I think like learning from someone's experience is actually better than if you try it yourself and then you fail because that person, took a lot of time in order to be successful. And some people might not use that long time, but we learn from them just a short period. So that means that we got some shortcuts if we listen to them. So that's really helpful and that is really great, like great, super great, like the best podcast that I really love to listen. So here you can see there are various kind of topics that they talk and you can just, listen to him, talking. So yeah, here, okay, let's get to see some of the episode. I think that would go to get this one. 7 tips to finally get a good night's sleep. So 7 tips. I think sleeping is really good for you because if you have, good time, like have a really good quality of sleeping, you'll be more productive.
If you've ever been curious about what I eat on a daily basis, the simple answer is ButcherBox. If I were to guess, probably way over half of my weekly calories come from ButcherBox because I am absolutely fanatical about my diet and my health. And because of what Lisa's gone through with her gut issues, I assure you she's even more psychotic about what she eats than I am. There's a huge difference we've learned between grass-fed and grain-fed meat. I would not have believed that just a few years ago, but man, let me tell you, when Lisa eats something that isn't grass-fed, she can feel it right away. It is crazy, and I highly encourage all of you guys to be eating grass-fed meat, but it is not always easy to find, and you don't want to go searching through a busy grocery store right about now.
Alright, so that's how his voice is. I'm sorry, I don't think that I cannot just skip into like the middle part, like just to let you guys hear his voice. And so these are just one of the examples that I'm gonna show you guys. So if you're interested, you guys can just follow like their channels. Alright, so this is the second one. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to Thai a little bit. อันที่สองนะคะเมื่อกี้ที่ให้ดูไปก็คือจะเป็นเรื่องของ impact theory เนาะคนนี้เขาก็จะเหมือนว่าไปสัมภาษณ์เนาะบุคคลที่ประสบความสำเร็จต่างๆเนี่ยเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเนาะแล้วก็เหมือนว่าเราก็จะได้เรียนรู้สิ่งต่างๆจากเขาเพราะว่าเขาไปสัมภาษณ์คนที่เหมือนว่าประสบความสำเร็จมาแล้วใช่ไหมเหมือนเราก็จะได้เรียนแบบวิธีเหมือนทางลัดที่จะนำไปสู่ความสำเร็จแล้วอันนี้เนาะเขาก็จะเหมือนจะสอนในเรื่องต่างๆไม่ว่าจะเป็นการใช้ชีวิตเนาะเขาเรียกว่าอะไรการพัฒนาตนเองเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าเกิดใครชอบแนวแบบพัฒนาตนเองตรงเนี้ยพอดแคสต์ตัวนี้ก็คือเป็นพอดแคสต์ที่แนะนำให้ทุกคนเนี่ยฟังมากๆเลยนะคะโอเคไปส่งพอดแคสต์แล้วอันที่3เนี่ยคิดว่าเป็นสิ่งที่ทุกคนน่าจะรู้จักกันเนาะพอดแคสต์นี้ซึ่งก็คือ All Ears English All Ears English นี่ก็คือเหมือนจะเป็นผู้หญิง2คนนะคะเขาก็จะพูดเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเนาะแล้วก็สอนในเรื่องของแบบภาษาอังกฤษซึ่งอันนี้คิดว่ามีมานานมากๆแล้วเพราะฉะนั้นคนที่เคยเรียนภาษาอังกฤษมานี่อาจจะรู้จักพอดแคสต์นี้แล้วเนาะก็เดี๋ยวจะให้ลองฟังนิดหนึ่งนะ
This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 1493. Be a peach and listen to this fruity episode. Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 150 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection. With your American host, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Colorado and New York City, USA. And to get your transcripts delivered by email,
อันนี้นะคะก็เหมือนที่เขาคุยเนาะถ้าเกิดใครฟังตอนที่มันเป็นเทรลเลอร์ตอนที่เขาพูดไปว่านี่นะเขาเนี่ยแบบimport มาจากอเมริกาเลยเพราะฉะนั้นใครอยากเรียนภาษาอังกฤษจากเจ้าของภาษาเนาะแล้วก็อยากฟังเขาพูดเนี่ยเป็นแบบสำเนียงอเมริกันแท้ๆเนี่ยก็สามารถฟังเนาะพอดแคสต์นี้ พูดผิดสามารถฟังพอดแคสต์นี้ได้เลยนะคะก็อันนี้เขาก็จะมีเนาะ EP เนี้ยที่เราเปิดฟังเนี่ยก็เป็น EP 1493ซึ่งก็คือเยอะมากเขาก็ทำมานานมากเพราะฉะนั้นตรงนี้ปังๆสำหรับคนที่อยากฟังภาษาอังกฤษเปิดฟังได้จนครบทุก EP เลยจ้าดูสิเขาก็จะมีน่าจะอยู่บนหลายแพลตฟอร์มด้วยไม่น่าจะใช่แค่ Spotify น่าจะมีอยู่ใน Apple Podcast เนาะแล้วก็ที่อื่นๆด้วยเพราะฉะนั้นใครสนใจก็สามารถดูได้เลย Okay, so the third one, I'll switch back to English. So the third one is called All Ears English. So All Ears English podcast, I think is one of the famous, like the most famous English podcast for, English learners because I think that it established for quite a long time. And just as you guys see, that the one that I just clicked in is on an EP, 1483. So that means like there are a lot of podcasts that they already been, posted here. So if you want to learn English, I think you can learn from them because there are native speakers like imported from America to teach you guys. So yeah, this is one of the, I think like really useful and informative English for you guys, any one of you who are learning English. Alright, and the next one is called Anderson Cooper. So he is, I think, a reporter from CNN, and this one just majorly, doing all the reports about Trump, like every single time I just hear him, like a little bit like not cursing, like Trump, almost every single podcast that he has, I guess. As you guys can see, most of them are just about, Biden, Trump, and I think most of the things will be about like political things. Yeah, so if you guys don't like it, you guys can just skip this one. But if you are interested about the news, like how do they report the news in like America, you can just check this channel out. So I think that I won't play here, but just skip into the next one because this one really depends on the person, like if you like it or not. Okay. อันที่สี่นะคะอันนี้ก็จะเป็นเหมือนนักสื่อข่าวแล้วเขาชื่อว่า Anderson Cooper ซึ่งคนนี้เขาก็จะเหมือนเป็นสำนักข่าวคนที่รายงานข่าวต่างๆเนี่ยแต่ว่าเขาเนี่ยก็จะรายงานประหนึ่งแบบว่าเหมือนมีแซะนิดๆกับประธานาธิบดีคนอื่นๆของอเมริกาซึ่งสมัยก่อนนะตอนที่อานาฟังนี่ก็จะเป็นคนที่ตอนนั้นสมัยที่ทรัมป์ยังเป็นประธานาธิบดีอยู่เขาก็จะแบบว่าแซะแล้วก็คุยเรื่องของทรัมป์เยอะค่อนข้างเยอะเนาะแต่ว่าตอนเนี้ยไม่ค่อยได้ฟังของคนนี้มานานแล้วก็คิดว่าแต่ว่าภาษาหรือว่าคำที่เขาใช้พูดนะคะค่อนข้างที่จะน่าสนใจแต่ถ้าเกิดใครอยากเรียนแบบว่าพูดแบบนักสื่อข่าวเนี่ยคนเนี้ยก็ถือว่าโอเคเลยสามารถดูได้ต่อมาอันที่5เรามี6อันโอเคอันที่5ก็คือของคนนี้เขาชื่อว่า Brandon ค่ะ Brandon ขอดูนามสกุลแป๊บหนึ่ง ชื่อคนนี้ค่ะเขาจะออกหนังสือเนาะถ้าเกิดใครเคยเห็นหนังสือของเขาอะหนังสือเขาจะเป็นหนังสือแป๊บนึงนะหาก่อนเนี่ยอะไรนะ High Performance something อะที่แบบว่าเป็นหนังสือที่เล่มออกจากสีเหมือนหน้าปกอย่างนี้ที่เหมือนที่เขาจะสอนเรื่องของการเป็นคนที่ต้องแบบพัฒนาตนเองทำไงให้มีเหมือนว่าผลลัพธ์ในการกระทำที่ออกมาดีเป็น High Performance ที่แบบว่าประสบความสำเร็จประมาณนี้ซึ่งเขาจะเหมือนเราเป็นโค้ชสอนเนาะเขาก็จะมีเป็น YouTube Channel อันนี้ก็ติดตามเหมือนกันติดตามมานานแล้วซึ่งคนนี้ก็ถือว่าเสียงดีมากเสียงเพราะพูดชัดเนาะแล้วก็เป็น native speaker เพราะฉะนั้นเราสามารถเรียนรู้อะไรจากเขาได้เยอะมากแล้วเขาก็พูดเก่งมากด้วยนะคนนี้เคยไปสัมภาษณ์กับทอมด้วยนะอยู่ในน่าจะอยู่ในช่องของ YouTube ของทอมเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าเกิดใครสนใจก็สามารถไปดูได้นะคะโอเค so I think this is the fifth one.Right, okay, so the fifth one is a podcast that's called The Brandon Show. So his name is Brandon. So this guy is like a really great motivator as well as, like Tom. Like I think I knew him before I knew Tom. Like I started watching his channel on YouTube before I get to know Tom from the Impact Theory. And I think that he really, can like break down all the principles that you need to know in order to achieve all of your goals, how to motivate yourself, how to be a better person, how to, get to, we call that stick into something that you want to do and achieve it. So actually, since most of the podcasts I listen are about self-improvement, and I'm really into the kind of these things. So that's why I would like to recommend this channel to you guys again. So yeah, I think you can just watch it. Go and watch it. If you're not the type of this person, like the kind of the podcast, you can just skip it. But if you like it, I would like to really 100% recommend you guys to watch it. Okay, let's hear his voice a little bit because I really love his voice.
Review. I'd like to share with you the 10 lessons I learned about life and other people in the world today. Share with you these 10 lessons in hopes that they bring some inspiration to you, some release of a very difficult and chaotic and strange year that was 2020, but also some renewal, some hope, some energy, some depth and readiness to serve and lead and live your best and extraordinary life in 2021. And this is a new format you'll see a lot more of from me here, and hear a lot more of me with The Brennan Show moving forward. We're doing more episodes and more conversations about life with you, where I know you all are used to my videos and podcasts being capturing some of the best of my audio and video from so many of my live events throughout the year, so many of my online courses, so much of my coaching community. And this.
So here is his voice. Really, really nice. And he speaks it really, really in a good way that you can catch up every sentence that he wants, to get to leave the message to you. So I really love this kind of talking. I really love listening to him talking. So yeah, it's one of my favorites so far. And another one, we are at the last one. So the last one is Jim Quick. So Jim Quick, I have to say I just knew him not too long ago, maybe less than a year, accidentally after he got interviewed with Tom Beale. So Beale, sorry. So I just think he is really an interesting person. He got so many information that we needed to know. Mostly, I think it's all about some kind of the way that the brains think, the way the technique, the way that we have to work our life. Is that the right word to say? So yeah, just as you guys can see here, there his podcast, reset your mind, 5 steps to reset your brain. I think mostly about the brain and how your brain is function. So that's why his channel is called Quick Brain with Jim Quick. So yeah, to be honest, I just barely listen to this one, but I just think it's really useful and it's a really good way to learn English from him because his English is so clear, as well as the information that you will get from the podcast is really useful. So yeah, let's hear a little bit about this podcast.
For 28 years of working with some of the most amazing minds on our planet. Just go to limitlessbook.com and enjoy this book.
Welcome to Quick Brain, bite-sized brain hacks for busy people who want to learn faster and achieve more. I'm your coach, Jim Quick.
Free your mind.
Let's imagine if we could access 100% of our brain's capacity.
I wasn't high, wasn't wired, just clear. I knew what I needed to do and how to do it.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
Welcome back, Quick Brains. I'm so excited about this episode. The question we have for you today, how does food affect your mental health?
Okay, so these are all of the podcasts that I would like to recommend to you guys. If you are beginners, who are started learning English, or if you are already English learners, you've been learning it for years, but you just want something to just, listen to the podcast to just maybe for, your knowledge, or maybe just because you have nothing to do and you just want to find something to listen. I think that these are things that I would like to recommend to everyone that I know because I think they're really, really good for you. Like I mentioned before, there are so many reasons. And yeah, that's probably be it before it's gonna be too long. And I'm sorry that I just speak Thai and English, like switch it back. And if you guys can listen to both languages, it's probably gonna be like the same message. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will have a good time on your Christmas and New Year. And I'm going to see you guys again next time. Okay, bye.